Hey everyone, it's David again from longtailscorpion.com and AIsalesify.com. So in this third video of the What is SEO and How It Works course, I just wanted to show you some basic setup of how you can utilize these drag and drop scenarios in when, if you're in WordPress or system.io that I'm using or anything else. You just want to break it up. So as you can see here, this is the bottom of my introduction there, right? Is at the bottom. So I'm adding all the content as I go, and I'm dragging the text or headlines or bulleted lists or whatever into the article. So you can see here, I added the header within the body of the blog post, right? So what I should have done is I should have separated that header, right, as a separate header. So I should have dragged a headline in there at that point, put the header, and then put another text body below it, right? So here I'm going to show you how I did that, right? So there's the text body. Now I have the subheader there I need to put in separately, okay? So I'm going to click on it, right, and edit it how I need to, right? It's centered, but you can see here H1, H2, H3, H4, right? These are all the header options that I mentioned before in the first video that you can change. You can also link it, right? So the subheaders should be 2 or 3. That's what I use, 1, 2, or 3, depending on what they are. So this one I'm going to make 2, okay? So I would say predominantly the headers, I mean, they all would show up at Google at some point, right? I mean, like if you used, for example, all header 3s and 4s in an article as opposed to header 1s and 2s, would they show up less or more? I don't think so, just because if that's your preference of size, right, they're still going to show up because the whole article, right, is formatted the same way. It's not like you have a header 1, then you have a header 2, then you have a header 3, and a header 4, and it's random, right? It just won't look good. So you want to make them same size. So I'll use a header 1 or 2 or 3. Those are the 3 that I utilize in mine. So, and it'll look different if it's bolded, right, and underlined or not, or italics, right? So what I like to do, my typical, is either use a header 1 without bold because it's big enough, right? Or use a header 2 and I'll bold it. I like doing header 2s and bold. I don't like to have words too loud on the page necessarily. So there I'm going to use a 2. Here I got to switch this out, right? So I'll just show you how I do it, right? If you come across this error and you got to fix it, well, make sure you fix it, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this out, all right? I'll cut. So there I know I have the text I got to add there, right? So what I'm going to do, put a headline in between there, right? So you got to highlight it because it shows up as white, right? You got a white background, so you got to select black as the text, okay, in system.io. Now I'm going to paste that and see what that is. I'll click outside, click back in, and see that's a header 3. So let me make it a 2, and it's already bolded. See, right? Now I got to move this text below this header, right? So nothing wrong with, cutting it around and having, you got to do what you got to do, right? So what I'll do is I'll cut that. I'll shorten this text box, right? Backspace it, okay? Now I got to put another text box in between right after that. So I'm going to put this here. Got to kind of get used to the setup. See, and it's all white lorem ipsum text. So you got to, in System.io, that's how they set that up for whatever reason. I mean, it should be black, but, doesn't matter. Okay, so now I choose black. Now I'm just going to paste that section in, and then I don't want these centered, I like them to the left. So I'm going to pick that alignment to the left. Okay, there you go, I fixed it. Just click save. Alright, so now I got the headers how I wanted it. I'm using H2 bolded for all of these. And you know, there's other stuff. Make sure you're adding links and things like that. This here is, let's see, that was a H4, so I'm going to make that an H2. Because that's like a smaller header, I'm going to H3 it. And I'm just going to put SEO tip. Okay. And that was for the social media thing, right? So I'm going to add that in there. Okay, and then, you know, I'm going to, as I said before in the previous video, I'm going to finish this blog post. I'm going to add links to it, make sure it looks good. The font size I use, usually I use 14 or 16. This is 18. So I'm going to have to see what it looks like. I would prefer 16, so it's not too big, but for now I'm going to keep it at 18 because that's what it's set up as. Alright, see here it's 16. See how that 18. And you can play with it, you know, there's no, I wouldn't use 12, it's just too small. I would use 14, 16, or 18 depending on your preferences, but 16 should be good. See how that looks. You know, it's all related and in relative to the, you know, the header size. If you're using a H1 headers throughout, it's going to be a big difference between that text size. See, so this is a this is an H3 even, right? So I can, oh no, that wasn't one, yeah, even though it highlighted differently. So H2, and you know, you can go according to width, and you don't want it to break up necessarily, so you might want to use an H3 so the line doesn't cut and go to the next line, right? So certain things like that, you kind of look out for aesthetics. That's what you would call an aesthetic tip or point about visualize, you know, the whole visual of the blog post and how it's set up, how you want to make it easy for people to scan it and read it. So you don't want to cut lines like that on headers, you know, if you can help it. So that, in that case, you would view what it looks like both in mobile and on a laptop, because I work from a laptop, but you want to view the actual article when you're finished, right, on the laptop, on your computer, to see how the lines get cut or not, and then you'd make your final edits based on that, okay? So here that's 18, so I'm going to put it to 16. It looks like it's too small, but we'll see how it goes. I mean, it's not too bad. I'm using, let's see, what am I using Mullish for? Open Sans. Yeah, it's just different. Sometimes you're going to have, you know, standard fonts that automatically, you know, get inserted based on the platform. So that used the Mullish, which I actually never heard before. But I'm just going to double check and kind of see. So you got font type here in system.io, and you can pick, you know, certain Google fonts, custom fonts, or whatever. Yeah, so that's using Open Sans 16 font. So for now, I'll stick to that. Yeah, that's fine. All right, so I just wanted to finish with this video, just to kind of get those specific arranging aesthetic looks. So finish your article. If you're using this video series to help you kind of build your own blog post and art and website, you know, you might be a small, large business owner, whatever, and you're doing that. because a lot of business owners like to learn on their own as far as details, specifics. So, they want to learn terms and all that. So I'm going to finish this article, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.